Okay, now, and we are the small short explanation of the precepts of the Bodhicitta of the applications, the six transcendent perfection is it's finished. Now, like the kind of more explain the how it is the six transcendent perfections. They explain the six transcendent perfections in detail, to more detail, more elaborate. Of course, there's like more. Each one is divided into three, making a total of the 18 sections. Of course, we can to look the generosities, the transcendent perfection of the generosities divided into three: material generosities, the generosity of the protector, the generosity of Dharma, and then is a discipline, and also is a three: close any negative actions and collect all the positive actions, doing all the benefit for the sentient beings. And these three are the transcendent of the discipline. And also the patience is divided through the patience of arm and leg, a patience of the application, and the patience of non-satisfied, or the do not stop. And then is this is not patient, I say patient, yes. It is diligent. Patient is divided the three. And first, patient is in gratitude of the other sentient beings. And second is the patient of ascetic practice, any kind of the to bear of the practice Dharma in order to practice Dharma. And third, the patient of do not be afraid, the profundity of meaning of the emptiness of the Dharma. And then is the diligent, is already I told you, armored, application, non-stopped. And then is the meditative concentration. It also already be studied. There are three sessions: cherish meditation, clearly discern, and extraordinary meditative concentrations. And then wisdom is the wisdom through listen, wisdom through reflection, wisdom through meditations. Therefore, each individual, this six transcendent tree, and together it is the totally 18 sections. Of course, if you go more details, each one is like you can to elaborate a lot. But that is like this. And then is the category of the material generosity. has 3 sections of its own, making 20 sections together. And their materials giving things, like materials 3 sections itself is like a big, small, middle, like materials, important materials, most important materials, like kind of the life and limbs, like this. And one is like a 2 based categorizations. Then there are 2 sections to added. Then it's become 20 sections together. And then is the top of that we can to say if we add transcendent means that make 21s, means and means there is like kind of inner realizations, the realization of the 2 natural realities of the phenomena, and externally you lead to all the sentient beings and the temporary happiness of the superior rebirth and the ultimate benefit for the Buddhahood. And also it is like you're using the different methods and such a kind of the powerful, and also it's like great methods, and like you are acting according to the sentient beings' faculties, and specific discrimination wisdoms, and to understand externally or inner you understand the natural reality, externally you help into the limitless sentient beings, bring to the happiness of the temporary and ultimate, and also is quite powerful, and also is like a kind of helping is correct, not too much, not too less. That is the transcendent means. Then transcendent state strengths. Strength. Then it's become the like kind of uh, 22. Sometimes there's a little bit different order. After the transcendent means, it is the transcendent aspiration. But here is the coding is the after the transcendent means, then there's the transcendent strength. And it is like kind of the strength. You meditate analytical meditation or focus meditations, specifically this training process, you have such a kind of the powerful discriminating wisdoms, and also the own mind streams easily, quickly transcendent. And also it is like why it is the strength and inner disturbing emotion of the desire, hatred, ignorance, so on, disturbing emotions cannot defeat the meditation of the analytical and focused meditations alternately. Any kind of your meditations or focus or the post meditations, and negative disturbing emotions cannot disturb. And then is the third one is transcendent aspiration. It's make the 23, and it's great aspirations. Your self aspiration may never ever separate the teaching of the Buddha, and may ever never separate your mind from the Bodhicitta. Principally, here is like the aspiration, never your mind separate Bodhicitta. And between there is your aspiration doing benefit for sentient beings, and to making the maturation through your compassions, the sentient beings' mind streams, you link between sentient beings, less Bodhisattva's aspiration. May you be like a nurse, service, food, cloth, shelter, every necessities for the benefit for the sentient beings. This kind of powerful discriminating wisdom of linked to the sentient beings. And then is the transcendent primordial wisdom or the primordial wisdom. Then is 24. And this also you is like kind of through the natural realities or understanding discriminating wisdoms. Meditate alternately, analytical and focused meditations. Of course, your mind is completely transcendent, perfect, and also is your realizations purely, utterly the nature of the reality, which is the emptiness. And you are like kind of completely unified the realization of the true nature, emptiness, and mindless. And also it's like externally and relative truth. And both same times to understand that the unification of how it is the unification of primordially. That you understand purely, perfectly. That is the transcendent primordial wisdoms. Become the 24. Going into even more details, each of the 6 transcendent perfections can be divided into 6 making 36 sections. Of course, that is the each individual, the 6 transcendent perfections, doubt, each one is 6 transcendent. Make kind of the joke. If you can to add 6 transcendent, the means, strength, aspiration, primordial transcendent, 4 you added, then it's 10 transcendent of the great perfections. Each one you divided into the 10. It's become the 100. But here is like only the, say, 6, making 36. For example, Pajina Paramitas. We can take example. We can to see how this works by the examining the session on the giving of the Dharma in the transcendent generosities. Okay, how it is. In doubt this the transcendent generosity of Dharma, on it, how it is in doubt other 5 transcendent perfections, included it's like that the 6. That is more easy when the teacher who teaches the Dharma to be taught and the discipline to whom the teachings is to be transmitted come together, explain the teaching is transcendent generosities. There is a kind of 3. Sometimes we say it's like 3 supreme spheres, 3 spheres, non-conceptualizations. Here is the subject, giver of the Lama or teacher, giving the Dharma, and the link between disciples is the Dharma. The object who received, this is the disciples. These two are coming together. Then you are teaching, this is transcendent generosity of the Dharma. When you say it's the 3 spheres, 3 supreme or 3 spheres, emptiness. Enhance 3 spheres, the giver of the teacher is the emptiness. Connector of the Dharma is emptiness. Receiver of the disciple is the emptiness. These are 3 kind of together enhanced by the empty natures. That is the 3 spheres, a great kind of the dedications or no conceptualizations. And that is the generosity of the Dharma. And then is like how it is the discipline. That the teaching does not seek gain or honor for the teaching the Dharma. And does not contaminate what he is doing, other with self aggrandizement, representment of the poisons of the others or any other negative emotions is transcendent discipline. Like a kind of during the teachings, teachers teaching not concerning the honor or offerings, nothing. And also it's like kind of the contaminated things, doing other with self-arrogantizement, means it's like kind of the, oh, I am a Lama. I'm like kind of the very important and kind of taking the very high position. Not like this. Aggrandizement. Self-aggrandizement. Aggrandizement. 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 Okay, self-aggrandizement is in Tibet like kind of wrong chivandimba. And also it's like a resentment, kind of the criticism, position of the others, like kind of the sarcastic to the others. This sort of teaching times, nothing kind of the contaminated word coming, only Dharma. Any other negative emotions, never mixed. That is the teacher's discipline, same times. And also it's like the patience, that he repeat the meaning of the phrase over and over, again and again. Ignored all the difficulty and fatigue. That is the transcendent of the patience. And diligent, that he teach at the appointed time without giving way to laziness and procrastination is the transcendent of diligence. Like a kind of the appointment, like procrastinating. Today is I'm tired, maybe tomorrow. Someone asks to the teachings, questions, anything. But today is not tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. This kind of. Try, forget it, laziness, any kind of tiredness. And that is the transcendent of the diligent. And also that we explain the concentrations, his subject, without letting his mind get distracted from the word and the meaning, without making any errors and without adding or the omitting anything, is the transcendent concentrations. And this is like kind of the teaching is focused on it, teacher itself. Like the mind is completely focused on teaching, never distracted by any kind of disturbing emotions. And the focus on the world, meaning, without making any kind of the errors, mistakes, without nothing adding, exactly teaching, nothing like kind of the missed, omitting, anything. That is the transcendent of the concentration, the wisdoms. Your time is gone, yes? That while teaching the remain imbued with wisdom, free of all concepts of the subject, object, and action is transcendent wisdom. All of the transcendent perfections are therefore presented, even the one generosities, like the generosity of the Dharma. Here is the courses. Wisdom free of the all concepts, free of the all concepts of the subject, it is the teacher, object of the disciples, action connector is the Dharma. These are the kind of nothing concept holding something, enhanced by the emptiness. That is the wisdom of, like, kind of transcendent of the wisdom. Therefore, each individual transcendent in doubt seeks another transcendent. Okay, maybe time is gone. We stop there. Question? How many? A lot? Maybe procrastinate. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. The first question is from Emi Nakamoto. I'm reading these two monlams every day and cannot understand why in the prayer and the aspiration to training in the pure realms of the three kayas it is written, first, the red experience dawns and the red essence rises to the heart. Then the white experience unfolds and white essence descends. And then the black experience drowns in and I sink into the alaya, the ground of all. And then in the explanation to the Bardo by Patrul Rinpoche, it is said, first, the white essence obtained from the father descends from the crown, then as the subtle red element of the mother ascends from the base of the central channel. And then, as the subtle white and red essences meet at the heart, through this, as an outer sign, there is an experience of blackness. So the white and red are in different order. Does it mean that both situations are possible?
I think this is maybe, you are right. Most generally, Bardo instructions, it's the same as the Patrul Rinpoche's. Like first white, ceased according to 84,000 like disturbing emotions, dissolved hatred, and 33 hatred is disappeared. This disturbing emotion of the comes from the hatred, and that is the white received from the father, comes from the top of the channel, and red seed from received from the mother, and sending from the bottom of the central channel going up, and that time is the experience of the red, and also it is like a ceased 40 negative emotion according to the desire attachment. And then they are kind of the mixed, combined in the level of the heart. And the feeling is like kind of black. And that moment, it is ceased 7 disturbing emotion according to ignorance. And this is like most general explanation, the pardo of the death and also dissolution of our death process. When they mixed in the between this heart and that timers, then it's like dissolved into the alaya, and then it's like a start. Next step is the appears or the start in the pardo of the intermediate. But in the aspiration of the 3 kayas, it is the first is started and read from the mothers. And that is a little bit according which kind of purpose. I cannot to correct. Maybe something normally when we take the birth and like the process of the universal kind of the how. Maybe it's like universal process according the 4 element, or maybe it's according the like kind of birth process, like kind of the through the pardos. And this kind of the, really is, I don't know, it's like most times the pattern but chance this one. And also you can to look at there is Jigme Dorji's pardo explanation in the Lotsawa's house, and also inside same as the pattern but chance. I think it's Karma Limbas also is there, and the pattern but chance in the world of my perfect teacher in the transference, and also it's like there are similarity. But aspiration of the 3 kayas, they're a little bit different. But that is like I cannot to say is wrong or correct. Okay? Maybe sometimes it's like one is they make Jigme Limba, he wrote it that after someone's a little bit correct, maybe. But also maybe it's exactly like this, maybe there's a reason. Okay? I cannot clarify. Maybe can you ask to Kambo, Hopan Shamba or something.
Thank you. Next questions are from Tasha Kuzeva.
Oh, and also maybe you can do like this, but generally it's like Nakamoto, it's like you can to follow more pattern but chance these explanations. Maybe it's more easy. Connect to the when you are learning the transferent chapter, exactly the same. Then other one may be different purpose. Okay.
Thank you. Dasha's first question is, does each practitioner must necessarily go through all 3 stages of concentration during meditation?
Okay, yes. Of course, you need to go. Without concentration, meditate, how we can to jump in order to realize the nature realities.
And next...
Even you follow up the instantaneous. Also, there is the short concentrations. Longer or short, this is different, okay? Some different perspective. Someone's 100 years of concentration, difficult to meditate. Someone's like 1 picosecond concentrated and realized the nature reality.
Her next question is, what do you think about meditating on Envirochana posture? Is it okay to meditate while driving, going, or eating?
Oh, yes. Even you make nice toileting times, you can to meditate.
And which postures can be dangerous for meditation, channels, and mind?
If you understand meditation very well, every posture is good. But if you cannot to meditate properly, then it's also posture is very important.
Thank you. Dinara says, thank you, Rinpoche, for your teachings. In which direction do we look in Longchenpa's meditation posture, up or down? Is the mouth open? Do we breathe with the mouth?
Breathe the mouth, gazing into the sky.
And her second question is, for which meditation do we use Longchenpa's posture? For which Vairochanas? What is the difference in the influence of these postures on the body and mind?
All of them very good. The basic kind of in the sutta perspective is the Vairochanas postures. More in the great perfections is a Longchenpa's. The both is okay, not contradict.
Thank you. Dasha has another question. When we attain enlightenment, we continue to perceive everything, yes?
Of course, not a handicap.
But I cannot understand who exactly perceives it. If there is no centralized ego, no separation on outer and inner.
Perceived without perceived, the best perceive.
Thank you. Roger Kala says, Dear Rinpoche, why is it that we have fear of the profound meaning of emptiness? Thank you.
Because of they do not understand. They need something existence. For example, when you look at in our Western theories, philosophies, they call the primary course. Primary course is without primary course, everybody is scared. There is a talking about primary course is God, or they're called in the quantum physics Big Bang, or primary ooze, what it is. Therefore, in the Buddhist perspective, primary cause, it is the empty nature, true nature of the realities.
Thank you. Anton says, Dear Rinpoche, why in the chapter Transcendent Concentration so little is said about collective particles such as Dzogchen?
Collective of the such and Dzogchen. I don't understand.
Why is it so little said about collective particles?
Collective
practices such as Dzogchen.
Where is the Dzogchen, you say?
In the chapter of Transcendent Concentration,
yes.
Why they don't speak about
Dzogchen?
Yes.
Okay. They say the approach accomplishment. That is the included Dzogchen. Dzogchen is rely on the approach and accomplishment. That is also I told you, yesterday. That is the Dzogchen.
And his second question, which is more efficient, to go to solitary places alone or participate in enlightenment activities, Dzogchen, Drupcho, Puja, etc., together with other practitioners?
If you haven't got any doubt, you're decisive, you clarified all your understanding Dharma, then you can go to you alone. Until there, you can to be Sangha together is more powerful. Are you ready?
Thank you. Brahm
Yes.
says, how is absolute truth realized by understanding causality? Is realizing and experiencing absolute truth the same? If it brings you to the first bhumi, did all teachers reach that level?
Yes, absolute truth comes from the causalities. causality is living or doubt, or the doubt in the absolute truth. Absolute truth is not different than the causality. Causality is not different than the absolute truth. If you do not understand the absolute truth, causalities is horrible, and the causalities. And if you understand the nature, true reality of the causalities, causalities are wonderful. Causalities help you. Causalities help you and make happy you. Causality is your great companion. And that is like this. Then it's like you understand more causalities, then you more reach to in the level of the Bhumi's path. Then that's don't worry.
Thank you. And someone says, Rinpoche, thanks for the yesterday explanation of Buddha's motivation. Okay, let it be the way of shepherds. The question why Buddha need to go outside the palace to attain Buddhahood. May there was a way to stay and achieve the same.
Okay.
Some people today listen the story that Buddha left his kingdom behind like spit in the dust, abandoned his family and loved ones. And immediately not Buddhist people think that this is the way that's wrong, so lose touch with Buddha's teaching. Automatically their mind harmed. Is this okay or not?
That is completely wrong. They misunderstand. But it's like kind of when you stay with families, to stay at home, how you can to meditate. And your family support, for example, in the Buddha is, okay, Buddha stay at home. He cannot meditate. Father or to make war, to control his kingdom. And wife said, love said, is like go to the party, listen music, dance, delicious food. Why you don't buy big car? Why you don't buy big house? Why you don't go to in the dance? Why we don't need to listen to why we don't need to go to holiday? So on. And this sort of, maybe Buddha himself, don't worry, he can, wherever he can do, he like kind of be enlightenment. But, and this is like kind of Buddha's demonstration. But our demonstration sometimes misunderstand, sometimes we say, like kind of some Buddhist peoples, they created the big families, and then it's like they're tired, they don't want to continue to help family, they don't want to do the support family, they give up everything. Just laziness, go to the solitude. This is not correct. Buddha, he compromised with his wife, son, and also it's like all of his families in the palace. And lived there, and he said, it's like, I will research to find something. And then it's like, I will return it. For example, our worldly, some as a husband says, to sit there, I will go to the attack to the one village. And then I will take the gold, silver. Okay, you stay there. A wife says, yes, good. Can you bring back the jewels? Or maybe I will go to these companies, take to work very hardly, bring money, buy for you car and house. And the husbands go to the companies. Sometimes in the company disagreement, they killed, they died. That's not enlightenment. The Buddha, he said, he told to his wife and son, say, sit here. I will find something to find the solution, to find the like kind of the how to deal with all the sentient beings' sufferings. If I find, I will return. I will to help too. He helped return. Fantastic way. Not bring such a kind of the criminal things. You sending your husband or family, sending to outside, bring another person's car. We don't understand very stupid things. Buddha's way is someone's families go to in the solitude, please. Go quickly to search some benefit, but someone's go to say, oh, I will go to in the Buddhist center, say, searching for the girlfriend, boyfriend, or drink alcohol, be laziness, no like this. The poor, they don't need to be afraid, this sort of thing. But they are afraid. What can we do? Okay.
Thank you. Dinara has another question. The relative truth is that everything is like a dream. The absolute
Cream, yes, exactly. Relative truth is really exactly cream to it. Okay. Very nice, your questions. Relative truth is cream to put on a cake to eat with coffee. Whoa. Aren't?
the absolute truth of emptiness, clarity of mind. Is it correct?
Absolute truth is what?
Emptiness and clarity of mind.
Oh, yes, yes. Emptiness and clarity of the strawberry to put relative cream. It's so delicious. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all. Okay, thank you very much. So nam da tamche zip. Thoni ni padana pamje te ye ganji wala. Sapon sole ndokan do wa sho shoncho sancho Rinpoche ma ye panai. Ye panyon ba me ba don kone kondon pera sho senjene parcheni ba nyerdene li. Drone na male va tadan jwa me pa sho manan tadon den ba don songa di jando pa don kando sambolas. Ni ji san dong danger ji cong dong lang song me xiang lab ji pan zi la ye zha xi ni jir de le san ba ye yan de. Ce rin ne me de xie dan ba er xiu gong ri er vi go er xin kam su pan dong de wa ma lu. Xian ren zing dan zeng jian zui ya bi san di par de danger ji par den la mi ke se dan ba dong kan yang yong la de xie. Da ye ma lu cu sa zhe yao ni nyer de song ji sa lan go ber xiu ye wa gan de yong da la ma dong zhe mi chu ji ba la la. Sa dong nam ji yang ten ra zu de dor jin chong go gong pong nyer tu xiu yer wa gan ji song qian zi la min chou ge de. Je tan ka la nye xia ye jia kang yong la tar ji xiu an ben ze sa tu sa ma ye man pa la ye ma de sa tu. Ti ten de dun bu su du ye bu su bu ye ba an ro du bu su ro su du ye de ye su ra gu su du ye. Sarvata Tankartame Dharma Mazamazva Samaya Satu.